it wasn't true, I wouldn't sing it.
Maybe we need to go out of space for real though, because, things on Earth ain't happening so well. Guys, many companies have been irrevocably impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, and they must now seek to pivot and reinvent their businesses to not only survive, but also to retain their position and grow. But how do we do it? How do we go about doing this? Tasty Blackman, CEO of 876 Corporate Services, walks us through the steps with just 5 easy steps, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all you need. Hi, Tasty.
Hi, good morning to you. And how are you? Thank you for having me.
We are
Good to
fabulous.
see you. You look lovely in that pink.
Thank you so much. You're all looking bright and sparkling too.
Yeah.
But Tasty, you know what? 5 steps don't do it. Think about it. 5 steps. Can we really reinvent our businesses in just 5 steps alone? It sounds too easy.
Well, not literally 5 steps, but we can talk about 5 steps that can be easily used in this moment to do some sort of a reinvention or transformation of your business during this COVID pandemic, because certainly one needs to pivot and find a new direction to continue doing business effectively so that the company can remain robust during the COVID pandemic.
Yeah, while we speak about the COVID-19 pandemic, and I know you've been in the different industries for over almost 20, 30 years, how has COVID impacted you and how did you have to pivot?
So I can tell you that for me, COVID actually came to me very clearly early. I was working for one of the global companies in Jamaica, and immediately they were impacted by the downturn in the economy in America. And as a consequence of that, I had to find a new opportunity. And that by itself forced me to pivot and propelled into doing my own company, 876 Corporate Services, to do business development consulting services.
So what are the ways now, kind of business reinvent themselves and pivot in this time? I know many things are happening online. Is that one of the strategies or platforms and avenues that we're supposed to be looking to now?
Absolutely. During this pandemic, what we have recognized is that there are lots of businesses that could no longer continue as a brick and mortar version. And customers and your own workers have actually had to go remotely to avoid some of the ill effects of the pandemic. And as such, we would have to create new avenues online to connect with them, such as getting yourself a website if your company didn't have one before. But importantly, turn into channels such as e-commerce to reach a wider cross-section of customers where you can promote your business effectively without a face-to-face connection. And you could also seek to connect to your customers by setting up apps, and also you could set up your own storefront online with places such as Shopify.
Yeah, so we speak about that, but one of the first steps here says identify your business's strengths. How difficult is that? Because I know a lot of people, they run their business and sometimes it's on autopilot, so you just leave it to do what it does. How do you identify the strengths and then build on them?
You're so correct, Dwayne. A lot of time companies haven't really paused when they're successful to look at what are their strengths and their weaknesses. But you could actually, in this time, it's important to pause, do a SWOT analysis and identify exactly what are the innate strengths of your organization that you would have built out over here. What are you known for and what are you good at? It may be that your company, as a strength that you can identify, is really good at doing distribution. If you recognize that one of your strengths as a company is distribution, here is your opportunity to try to distribute more products to a wider cross-section of the market. Your strength could be customer service, so you could expand your service offerings. You may discover that your strength is product quality. If you're good at formulating great products with great quality, maybe it's an opportunity for you to look at developing and introducing more products to the market as a way of using your strengths to your advantage.
Yeah, you mentioned customer service, and it's a big complaint in a particular country in the center of the Caribbean that customer service is not a high priority for a lot of companies. So how would you advise companies to pay closer attention to customer service, because it's very important now?
I'm glad that you raised that, because it's one of the key ways that a company could reinvent itself during this COVID pandemic going forward in 2021, customer service is central and so critical to the survival of a business. First of all, companies should really spend time getting to know their customers. More so in COVID, understand the changing needs of your customers, because with COVID, some of the needs of our customers have changed. Give your customer a listening ear. Make sure that there is an opportunity or a platform through which they can communicate their needs, their wants, and their desires. Having gotten that information from your customers, it gives you an opportunity to customize your products and services and find them in the channels that they want to be served in. Customer service is also a big part of how you get referrals for your business. 81% of customers actually prefer recommendations from friends and families over advertisement as a way of deciding which company they're going to do business with. So when you offer good customer service and spend time investing in customer service, building the relationship, nurturing the relationships, and the information collected, you use it to solve your customers' problems, then you have an advantage to grow your business, sell more products, reach more customers.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things that I'm realizing as well is that a lot of companies online are now reinventing their marketing strategies because there's a lot of competition in the space. So there's so many options to choose from. How important is it for us for businesses, and myself included as well, because we're businesses as well, right, Dwayne?
Indeed.
So, consider the marketing strategy.
It's also another important strategy to reinvent yourself, your branding, your brand position, and how you represent yourself online. Once you do some research and understand your market very well, then you have to create that unique message that represents you, your brand, and the quality that is in your brand, your services, and your product. You may have to hire someone sometimes to help you to craft an effective brand message that is really that it really connects with your customers and evoke the kind of reactions that you want to come out of your customers to respond to your brand. So it's important that it's unique. You have a brand that has quality in it. It is also important that it gives you an opportunity to recognize when this brand message has connected with your audience, so that you can also use it to charge a premium price, because good brands, think about some of the world-leading brands. It's the reason why the Mercedes brand can charge us the kinds of prices that they charge us for a Mercedes car, although it's really a means of transportation versus other kinds of transportation. So your brand message, your brand position, and what your brand represents, especially online, is important, and you need to craft that message and make sure the message is well dispersed across all channels.
Yeah, and before we go, you spoke about the different things that have happened. I know for you personally, a big redirection was social media that you had to get into.
Absolutely true. So social media is a big thing that is now more relevant than ever before. So for me, I was not even that big on using social media prior to COVID, but it's a blessing to me because there's this big virtual community. More and more people have turned to social media as a way of identifying products and services that they'd like to use. And more persons have decided to rely on social media to get authentic feedback and ratings about products and services that are available.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Tasty, it's great to see you. And I wish we had more time for you to tell people the story behind the name, but that's for another time.
I think we should host one show just for my name.
Indeed. Communicate your brand's value and position yourself to attract new customers and retain existing ones. Thank you, Tasty Blackman, CEO of 876 Corporate Services. And before we go, again, Tasty, thank you for stopping by. And our next video pick is our second video pick of the morning.